Welcome all of you here once again in another session, and that is going to be the first one this week. But overall, if I'm not wrong, that's the seventh one in last 2 months. We've been practicing topic-wise sessions for upcoming SSC examinations, CGL, CHSL and all. And yes, this is one of those on reading comprehensions. Of course, we know reading comprehension, which requires your reading skills because grammar is not that important here. Vocabulary is needed to understand, but your reading skills, your attention span, your concentration are mandatory here. In general, if I say you go through the passage, whatever is given, you analyze the key points, what's the important information, what's not. As you go ahead, you analyze, is it supporting the previous one, opposing the previous one, putting some data, asking a question, answering something, giving some cause, effect, etc. Make some keywords, it was mentioned here, it was mentioned there, so that when you practice enough, you need not come back to the first line again and again in order to find answers of each and every question. Let's start with a good one, but a tiny one. Don't judge a book by its cover. You go ahead first. Once you are done, say done. I'll show the questions. Done. Thank you, Chivalrous. Rohit, good evening, brother. God bless you. Here we go. Yes, I'll explain all at once. Shubham, it shouldn't be. Okay, then. Yes, Rohit. Rohit. Superb. Transient, ephemeral, fleeting, evanescent, momentary, transitory. Absolutely correct. Okay, let's finish things now. That was tiny but effective. I won't say that was easy, but easy to moderate. Contemporary industry of corporate consultancy evolved self-perpetuating farce. Expensive exercise in linguistic inflation where empty buzzwords as strategic insight. Highly paid technocrats armed with colorful slide decks and dynamic flowcharts enter functional institutions only to flatten organic operational structures into rigid, metrics driven matrices. Impressive. When you say metrics driven, data driven performance. Okay. Speak loudly of synergy, working together, and disruptive paradigms while systematically draining organizations of the actual talent. This theater, theater is acting, just acting. The corporate theater commodifies the superficial symptoms of efficiency while remaining blind to the rot it creates. Totally negative here, we can say. When the inevitable structural collapse happens, these transient experts have already packed their expensive briefcases, leaving the workforce to sift clean through the wreckage of the experiments. Okay. My experiments with the Indian cricket team, someone's biography. Which of the following best summarizes the central idea? The technological advancements? No, it's draining. Financial growth? Nowhere in the passage. The counterproductive and superficial nature of modern corporate consultancy culture. Yes, superficial, promising this, but actually this. The necessity of using abstract vocabulary? Not at all. The only negative one out there. What's the primary tone adopted? Optimistic. The author is not praising while saying draining, superficial, leaving to sift. No. Detached? No. Author is concerned. He's mentioning all these things. Speculative, talking about assumptions. No assumptions I can see here. Bitter, critical, criticizing. You promise this, but speak of synergy, but draining organizations, the only negativity available in the options. What does the author mean by the phrase corporate theater? Theater is when you act, you show, but not actually you are there. It's happening in the consultancy corporate world. Specialized training, no. Superficial, once again, the same theme. Collaborative administrative, no synergy. Innovation, nowhere in the passage. What's transient, lasting for a very short time, not permanent or knowledgeable or active, temporary, transitory, transient, momentary, fleeting, evanescent, ephemeral, lasting for a very short time, short-lived or temporary. And author's view on the impact of consultancy interventions: they elevate, no, they drain. They protect, no. They eliminate rot, though they create. The systemic rot it creates, not eliminate. They leave here the standard workforce to handle the damaging consequences, the experiments, wreckage of failed experiments. Last line. Absolutely. Doubts welcome, another one such. But before I proceed, let me show you. You can practice at home in the same way I showed, not an advertisement, but still mentioning. At home, whenever you feel comfortable, you can practice with the go to your courses section, SSC Super Practice Kit. There you see for each and every subject, quant, reasoning, English, GA, and computers also. For example, we are discussing English here. For each and every topic like grammar, nouns, pronouns, verbs, adjective, adverbs. Last week I showed for close tests. Today we can have RC, story based, current affair based. Let's see this. For example, we have level 1, level 2, level 3, then PYQs, then speed improvement, and then revision. So you can practice at your own pace starting from scratch for all the topics of all the subjects targeting upcoming SSC examinations. Check this SSC Super Practice Kit with 1000 plus tests for beginners, for those who are advanced. Okay, do check. Next. Yo, superficial. Thank you. Whoa, not talking about digital communication and all. Rohit, Shubham, and the others. No, this is not PYQ, brother. All the questions we've been solving are curated by me. Talking to you in Hindi, सब मेरे बनाए हुए हैं. And that means you are not taking your regular classes because this was discussed yesterday. डंडा कहाँ है? हाँ, लाना जरा. Absolutely. Very good, chivalrous. Last. Superb. Absolutely. See, marked by you. Yes. Okay. Quite similar tone we have here. Auditory landscape of modern metros has become a sterile, not producing transit corridor of noise, completely detached from the fundamental principles of acoustic ecology. Urban planning prioritizes vehicular throughput, they do, and commercial square footage, treating public spaces as dead zones between commercial hubs. The relentless concrete surfaces reflect and even amplify the rumbles, creating oppressive sonic wall that alienates those inhabitants. This assault, induces a state of chronic psychological fatigue. Yet city planners routinely ignore sound parameters during design iterations. Public squares are stripped of soft landscaping and water features that could offer sound remediation, leaving the populations trapped in a state of constant hyperreactivity. Okay, the tone is negative once again. So, what's the primary concern raised by the author? Rapid inflation of prices not there in the passage. Total failure of city planners, yes, yes, yes. To install high digital communication, no. Economic decline of infra across, but all across the passage it was talking about sound, 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 acoustic, sonic, acoustic, all across the passage. So I won't say this transit infra, the systematic neglect they ignore. The city planners ignore, exactly. The systematic neglect of acoustic parameters and ecology in the urban environments. Doubts, please. Tone, jubilant, happy, no. Indifferent, doesn't matter, it matters. Mocking, no one. disapproving. It shouldn't be ignored. And critical, criticizing also. Not always critical means criticizing, but here it is. In the previous one, it was. What can be inferred, not directly stated in the passage, can be inferred about the inclusion of soft landscaping and water features. It is probably here. Public squares, sorry. Yes, soft landscaping and water features that could offer what? Acoustic remediation. Remember remedy? Panacea, the remedy, the solution. Okay. They are financial assets. They may provide some solution. Accelerate the degradation. No, that's positive. It ain't negative. They could function as tools to mitigate, yes, or remediate, photocopy, providing a remedy for the urban noise pollution. Yes. Incompatible? No. It is shown positive. It is shown positive. It could provide remedy. What's remedy? Solution. Healing, correction, curing, absolutely. No amplification or commercialization or destruction. That's a positive word. And how does the author support the main argument? By presenting scientific statistics. No data has been provided. By comparing the cost, no cost has been provided. By providing a step-by-step manual, nothing. But by tracing the negative psychological, they themselves said, negativity, psychological and sonic consequences of current urban planning priorities. Exactly. Doubts, please, if any. Yes, acoustic guitar related to sound acoustic. Next. Attention span needed for this. Okay, showing questions in seconds. Okay, you are correct. First A, but you are not correct. Second B. Can have a look again. Yes, you are correct. First one A, second one D. Thank you. No problem, Rohit. Yes. Electricity gone, but no problem. We are almost done. Superb. Yes, that's B. Explaining. Last. And Shubham, can eliminate. Shubham. Perfect. The passage talks about both the, what should I say, uh, spheres of language. If you do this, early 20th century writers and modern linguistics conceptualizing this or that. Okay. So, which of the following best captures the central theme of the passage? Structural transition from behaviorist models of language acquisition. Initial was purely behaviorist mechanism, yes. To this modern cognitive neurolinguistics, that one. So the transition from behaviorist models of language acquisition to that more modern neuro epistemological frameworks, that's also mentioned, epistemological. It is mentioned, extremely sorry for the delay caused. Epistemology was there. Excuse me. I cannot find the word, but I remember it was there when I created this set. Second line. Oh, okay. I was actually reading this paragraph, modern one. Yes. So, acquisition as a mechanism supplanted by the contemporary belonging to this period. I didn't read that paragraph, was reading this neuro-epistemological framework. No objection. That was the most appropriate, showing the transition from this to that. Mechanical benefits, no. Total failure, no. And the viability of decentralized trading platforms, not at all. How did early 20th century writers or structuralists they posited that linguistic competence was associative repository of verbal habits accumulated via environmental reinforcement, iterative exposure, flattened language learning into a mechanical process. Let's grab the keywords. As a complex self-correcting, no, that was the modern one. Intrinsically configured computational organ, no. Sterile transaction framework, no. A mechanical repository, the keywords that we got here for the early 20th century structuralists. Mechanical repository of verbal habits accumulated via reinforcement and iterative exposure. I think directly stated. Self-correcting. If something corrects itself, should be passive. No. Should be not productive. Should be outdated. Should be active. What operational warning does the author introduce regarding modern media trends? For modern media trends, if the modern media trends continue, then the pathways responsible for this and that risk a long-term flattening. I think that is there in the keywords. They will guarantee a, but that was flattening. They have completely eliminated, no, they pose a distinct risk of flattening the pathways responsible for deep analytical synthesis. And the last but not the least one, passage, no sarcastic tone here, not detached, author analyzed everything, didn't dismiss, said, verified, validated. If we do this, it happens. If we do this, it happens. And respectful towards each and every perspective. Done. Thanks a lot for being here. See you pretty soon in the next session. Bye-bye. Take care. Be safe. Do subscribe to the channel if you are new here. And before I leave, I did show you this SSC super practice. And let me mention this birthday bash, last day today. One can grab, okay, that's showing only for super practice. One can grab flat 62% off on any subscription, be it SSC Lite, Elite, Super Elite, or SSC Plus Railways Elite if you are preparing for both the segments. What's included, what's not is clearly mentioned before you grab the subscription. We suggest Super Elite, in which you get courses, batches for all SSC examinations, 2000 plus tests, mocks, PYQs, running batches, upcoming batches, batches for tier 1, tier 2, for CGL, CHSL, everything here. Can grab for flat 62% discount using the code BDAYBirthday. Do apply the coupon and grab it. Preparing for SSC and Railways and want all segments, all batches in both the streams can opt for SSC plus Railways Super Elite. Thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye. Take care. Be safe. See you pretty soon, the day after tomorrow. Thank you, Rohit. Yes, when you see that quite close, you have to move your head in order to see, notice, capture each and every word. Shubham, 62% off, brother. That's what I mentioned. 62% off. I swear I'm not promoting, I'm not praising, I'm not exaggerating. The most I have witnessed ever. Before this, it was 60%. Now it's 62% because it's the 14th birthday of Oliveboard. Thank you, Chivalrous. Thank you, Rohit. God bless you, brother. Thanks a lot. See you pretty soon. Thank you, everyone. See you.